How to do, everybody? It's Rayla29. So, what I'm doing for these commentaries now, I think what I'm gonna do is a little bit of story time. Yeah, I think I'm gonna tell you guys a story about my life each week. Hopefully I can get one video up each week. I don't know. I'm kind of busy sometimes. And I just do this for fun, so if I don't have any time, it's no big deal to me. So, the first story that I wanted to tell you is about a time when I was in 7th grade. I believe. Maybe it was 8th grade. I'm pretty sure it's 7th grade. Anyway, a friend of mine named Sam and I were we had a lot of ingenuity. Let's just say that. And we were always kind of getting into trouble. I was in a very small school. My graduating 8th grade class had 21 students in it. And the way that we had school was a much different style than regular public schools. I was in a private school. And we had an art studio, and we would make art projects throughout the school year during our free time. And a friend of mine, so Sam and I were discussing an art project to do, and we always did these together because we both had great minds for the art world, and we love to build things. And so we thought about this one idea, and it was actually a thing that a former student did to our principal, and we wanted to take that a step further. And so we thought, why not do it to the art teacher? He's a great guy. I mean, he's got a good sense of humor, and he really liked us. His name was Rob, and he had a good time with us. We had a great time with him. I mean, we were always hanging out in the art studio. Anyway, so the two of us went up to him and asked for some styrofoam. We wanted a lot of styrofoam too, and he wondered why, and we were like, oh, well, we're doing an art project that involves a lot of styrofoam, and so he handed it over to us, without knowing what we were doing. We were kind of, we had our mindset. We knew what we were doing. We were kind of giggling. We were trying to keep it a secret from him because we didn't want to ruin it. And so we went outside of the studio so that he couldn't see us, and we started grinding away. We get those little balls of styrofoam that stick to your clothes and stuff, and we got a big bucket full. We ground up a ton of this stuff, and there was just a lot of these little balls floating around. And he still had no idea what we were doing. And so what happened to my principal, I'm not sure when it was. Maybe a couple years before us. We never knew the kid. And when you hole punch something, you get those little white dots from the hole puncher paper. And he put those in the sun blind on the inside of my principal's car, so that when she folded down the sun blind, it dropped down on her. And she had a good laugh about that, so we thought that was pretty funny, and we were going to take that to a how never level. And so what we did is we took those styrofoam balls, and you're thinking we're just going to put them in the sun blind, but no. And this was actually my idea, and it was probably one of the worst ideas I've had in my life. At the time, it was the funniest thing I could think of. And so we went into my art teacher's car. I don't know how we got in there. It was probably unlocked or something, but maybe we asked them for some duct tape or something. I don't know. Anyway, we went in there, and we started taking out our styrofoam, and we were dumping it into the air vents, the dehydration and the air conditioning vents. And so we got it all loaded in there, and he didn't even notice. So we come back into the school, and we're still got our smirky faces on. We're up to something. I don't know that he knows it, but we were trying to stay away from that happening, because what we were thinking is, you get in your car, you turn on the defroster in the morning because it's cold outside in Seattle. There's no snow, but there's a lot of frost, and your windows freeze over, so you gotta turn on the defroster right away, so it wouldn't harm him. He wouldn't be driving while this happens. You know, and we didn't actually know if it was going to even come out of the vent, so we thought maybe it would just sit there. And so, you know, we just let it go. We were done with that. We figured the story would play itself out. And so a couple days later, we get called into the teacher's office. And they sit us down. And this is what I thought was kind of funny. They had the lights turned off. There were no lights in the room, so it was kind of dark. There's a window, but the blinds were shut, so there's a little bit of daylight coming in. And my art teacher is sitting there with the principal, and he just looks at us for a good 30 seconds, and we know what's going on. We're trying to act like we don't know what's happening, though. I mean, we're terrible liars at this point. You know, we're only what, 15. I'm only 17 now, but you know what? I got way better at lying. And so he just sits us down. And my friend Sam, he says, "What's up? What do you guys want?" You know, and Rob just looks and he goes, "I think you guys know." And we're just like, "No, we have no idea what's going on." I mean, we're trying to hold our laugh as hard as we can, and it's just impossible at this point. And he goes, "You know, styrofoam art project? Ring a bell?" And we were just like, you know, we looked at each other and tried to hide our smiles. And we're like, oh yeah, how was that? And he's like, "I was driving on the freeway." And it turns out that he was driving on the freeway. Now, he didn't get into an accident, fortunately. That would have made me feel really bad. But the funny part is still to come. So what happens is it melted on his on the inside of his car, and so he had to clean out the whole engine and the whole, or not the whole engine, but the whole inside where the air conditioning vents go into, and it cost him like $500 or something. He had to go to his mechanic just to get this thing fixed. And so the punishment for this unbelievably stupid prank was that Sam and I had to bring in $1 worth of quarters during school, take Rob's car to a Brown Bear. You know, anyway, it's a car wash. I don't know if you guys have them where you live, but we have them here. And we took it to the Brown Bear, and we had to vacuum out the whole car. It took us maybe 45 minutes of school, and we were just laughing it up after we got out of that office, because we were like, "Are you kidding me? We get to pay and skip school?" Like, you know, I mean, we even confronted the principal, and we were just, I mean, that was probably the worst thing we could have done. We were just telling her that this was the dumbest punishment she could have come up with. And I don't think she liked that very much. And it leads to some other punishments later on, and I'm going to continue this story in another video. Anyway, thanks for listening, thanks for watching. Comment, rate, subscribe, check off, do whatever you want. Anyway, thanks for watching, see you next time, guys.